Welcome back to my channel, everybody. It's been a little while, but I'm going to do a full garden tour and I'm going to show you what we've been up to. It's been a little while since I've been up to date with what's going on in the garden. You guys have been seeing some older footage of what we were doing in the early spring, late winter. I did do a lot of work in the garden with the help of my family, but I decided to not upload that footage because I was a little bit behind, and I jumped right into where we are today. And I'm going to show you what's been going on. I brought my clippers with me because I do have some squash that needs to be harvested. So I'm going to take you guys around, show you what's been going on in the garden. Let's go. All right, we'll start here. Got some hibiscus plants on both sides of the greenhouse. I started these from seed, so I'm very excited to see them grow. In these tall planters, my plan is to start soybeans. I'm a little late on doing that, but that's what's going to go there. The last of my summer planting is here. Those are peppers. Those are going to go in soon. That's just a toothache plant in that grow bag, and some cardinal flowers. I started those. They came up. They got too dry, and I need to restart them. This is a flower called lion's tail. I'm excited to see it. It's been kind of small for a very long time, so I want to see how it does in comparison to this one over here, which is called lion's ear or klipdaga. Excuse me, all my West Indian friends. I can't not say it like that. It sounds like a reggae song, so pardon me, all my West Indian friends. We've got some cherry tomatoes here. This is a honeycomb hybrid, and on that side is a sunrise bumble. These are just extras. The majority of the cherry tomatoes are in another area, which I will show you. This is the marshmallow plant. It kind of lives here. It's starting to flower, which is beautiful, and the bumblebees love it. It came back on its own, and this plant is pretty interesting. So something that I noticed, I thought that I got all of the bulbs out of this pot for, I believe this is, you have to forgive me. I'll put it on the screen if I remember, but it's a flower, and apparently I did not. So they decided to come up along with the hibiscus, so we'll see what happens there. And then I'm going to put soybeans on this side also. Our herb area, I cleaned up quite a bit. Here we've got some mint. This one is a mojito mint. We've got some papaya cream nasturtium. And I have an agastache rose mint in there, but it's struggling a little bit against this mojito mint and this valerian that volunteered here and won't let anything else be great. The valerian is fantastic for sleep and relaxation, but it has reseeded all over the place in my yard, which is like great, but it's kind of getting a little bit annoying, and it smells like socks, so that's not great. Over here we've got some skullcap, lemon balm. This is one variation of lavender. Hyssop, which comes back year after year. Sage, I sowed some lime basil, holy basil, and I'm trying again with rosemary. I don't have the best of luck with growing rosemary from seed, but we're doing it again. Some borage. I re-sowed borage over here, but it's kind of comical. I'll show you why that is funny when we get to the main garden. And some lemon basil, which is one of my favorites. And this is comfrey, which came back on its own. Down here is feverfew. Now you saw how the feverfew took over this entire area. This bald patch in the grass was where the feverfew kind of took up residency, and we weed whacked that down. We tried to have chamomile here and yarrow, but they were overrun by the feverfew, and so we're trying to give that a chance. But just in case, I planted some Zloty Land chamomile on this side and some arnica on this side. And this is a meadow arnica, and it's doing much better over here because it gets more sun. This area is for the asparagus. It did all right in the spring, but not great. So it's ferning out right now. Our eucalyptus is looking as majestic as ever. Okay, some other herbs that we have: Italian parsley, dill. Let's see. This one is a different oregano variety called a wild Zatar variety. Got something bit me. Ouch. St. John's wort and white horehound, which comes back by itself here in my climate. I've got some mint right here. That's just a peppermint. More lemon balm, chocolate mint, and this monstrosity right in front of me is valerian. In front of it is supposed to be evening primrose, but the valerian is taking over. So I'm going to have to do something about that. This is a different variety of lavender. It's a pink Bandera lavender. This is some thyme, more Italian parsley, dill, and I think I have some more rosemary back there, and my beloved pineapple sage. And some more mint. What kind of mint is that? That one is a grapefruit mint. Oh, and right there, right here, is something called Moldovan dragon head. So I'm excited to see this flower. I think I had something else. Oh, astragalus root right there. So a lot of interesting things happening in the herb garden. Let's go on over here to Melon Hill. We still have all of our garlic, which is getting really close. As you can see, the garlic scapes are coming up. So our garlic is just a few weeks away from being harvestable. And then we've got some squash that need to be harvested, but I see a little problem. I see an ant hill here, so let me go grab some gloves before trying to harvest this. I'll be right back. Yeah. Hubby came out to give me a hand in case the ants swarm real bad. Okay, thank you. That's a big one. It's a little bigger than we usually like. I missed it. But that's a good one. First squash of the year. And that is a Golden Glory. Nice. So, let's see. Let me move that leaf out the way, because I have a variety under here that's getting blocked. It's not getting enough sun. That's a Ford Hook zucchini, classic zucchini, and a Palermo zucchini, which is a long white variety. I haven't planted my sweet potatoes yet. The slips need to still harden off. I've got more garlic and corn. Corn is in the middle here, and the variety that I planted was Fisher's Earliest. On the outside of this corn, I planted a few pole beans, and I don't know if you can see in there, they're starting to climb. And we've got some more squash. I've got a small one in here. Yeah, we can let that one wait. But I think I actually want this green one for dinner. That one right there. Okay. Thank you. And, oh, that one was, that's another Golden Glory, but it's a hybrid, so that's why you sometimes will get a green one. In this bag, I have my favorite variety, and it is pineapple squash. And this one is a patty pan squash, and then more Golden Glory. Let's get this last one here, that big one there. It's kind of green on the top. That's awesome. That's a cute little harvest, our first harvest. Nice. Okay. The tea plants are looking good. Give you guys a look of those. Okay. There's Cupcake. She's had many babies this spring. At least 2 litter that we can count. We thought Cupcake was a boy until she started having babies. So now we know Cupcake is a girl. Smile for the people, Cupcake. She's like, whatever, I'm eating my dinner. Alright, so we've got some butterfly pea growing here. And watermelon. This year we're going to do Jubilee. And I've got one orange variety, which is Orange Glow. And as far as other melon, we're going to do cantaloupe. And I just decided to do one variety. And I've already forgotten what I did. I did Aphrodite. And they're already starting to climb. And over here, I did loofah. Let's go down the hill. So our Asian pear. All 3 trees are looking good. These 2. This one that I grew from seed. And the one in the middle that got chopped down several times. They still haven't flowered, so they won't produce any fruit yet. But they're healthy and they look good. The grapevine, looking pretty good. It's got grapes on it. So, got scuppernongs on one side and muscadines on the other. This area Gotta be honest with you guys, it got neglected by me. So I've got a lot of work to do down here, not gonna lie. The only thing that's come back that I can tell is some echinacea right here. Everything else is weeds. Oh, let me get out of the light. So just some echinacea right here, and that's about it. Let's go on. If you caught my last video where my son and I planted our new trees, both the peach and the plum tree flowered beautifully in the spring. This peach tree has been struggling a little bit. So we'll see what happens. If any of you are have experience with peach trees, you can drop some comments down below and let me know what you think. Blackberry bush is doing nicely. It flowered a little late, but it looks good. Lots of berries. And the plum tree looks good. It won't fruit this year, but it looks great. The blueberry bushes look fantastic. They're two different varieties. That's why the berries look different. So that's the smaller of the two. And that's the larger one. I planted a bunch of potatoes in bags, as I usually do. This bag ripened first, so they are ready to harvest. I just haven't done it yet. These are some mums. I usually put these out in the fall, and then in the summer I bring them around to the backyard where they don't have to deal with that blistering sun, evening sun. So that's what that is. This is just some cabbage that I put a barrier around so the bunnies won't get it. They're heading up. Even though it's getting hot, I still think that I may get a few heads. These are some Swiss chard heirloom mixed variety that I sowed about a week ago. So they popped up pretty quickly because it's so warm. In this bed, we've got some amaranth, callaloo type, and a Chinese multicolored type, as well as some red onions along the border. Both of those do well in the heat, so we can have a source of lettuce in our very, very hot North Carolina weather, as well as sorrel. This sorrel pretty much stays in this spot. It got really, really tall, went to seed. We just chopped it down, and it just starts over by itself. It's been here for at least, I guess, going on 4 years at this point. It likes that spot. Let's see, what else did I plant? I planted some Bronze Beauty lettuce that seems to do pretty well in our climate, and some Pink Beauty amaranth. I planted these Brussels sprouts when it was still cold, but I didn't get enough time for them to form Brussels, so that one is a wash. I'll give the leaves to our rabbit, and that'll be that. That's the other mum. These are the other bags of potatoes. They're getting close to being ready to harvest. And if you can see in there, those are some onions. And they are looking fantastic. Okay, so with my cherry tomatoes, I was noticing last year in the main garden, they were becoming a jungle. It was hard to harvest them. They were falling all over the place. I was getting stuff in my hair trying to harvest them. It was a disaster. So I decided to bring the cherry tomatoes out and essentially expand the garden. I don't know if anybody else deals with that. Every year your garden seems to grow. Well, I'm guilty of that as well. So the cherry tomatoes, even though I'm growing less cherry tomatoes, the garden is somehow growing. It's kind of funny gardener math. I don't know. Anyway, this year we've got purple bumblebee, sunrise bumblebee, and honeycomb hybrid. I have one more, which is berries cherry, but I haven't planted that yet because it came up late. And then the one thing that we always run out of is salsa verde. It's one of our family's favorite, and I said, not again this year, we will not run out. So I planted 6 tomatillo plants. One of them is trying to die on me. I don't know what its problem is, but it's not acceptable. But we have at least 5 good ones. So I'm excited about that. So hopefully we will have plenty of tomatillos and thus plenty of salsa verde. Citrus. The citrus plants are looking great. I changed the order around a little bit. So we've got all of the white pots on this side and all the blue pots on that side. You know me, I like to keep it pretty. But I also put some of the plants that needed a little bit more height on this side, and some of the ones that could provide me a little more shade when I'm sitting in those chairs on that side. So it was strategic as well as pretty. So we've got the Palestine sweet lime, Bear's lime, Eureka lemon, improved Meyer lemon, Satsuma, Miwa kumquat, key lime, and Meyer lemon. Our original Meyer lemon, which still hasn't produced a fruit, but it's not the plant's fault. It's been through it, living with me as I learned to. It was my learning plant as I learned to grow citrus. So we'll give it some grace for not having produced fruit yet. All right, let's go into the main garden. This first bed has in a bit of transition. This is a mosquito plant. I just need to plant it. It's still in a pot. This bed has not been planted. These are old spinach plants that need to get pulled out. And I need to figure out what I'm going to plant here. These are our paste tomatoes. I'm just doing 2 varieties, Amish paste and the Martino's Roma. And y'all will be very proud of me. I really reined it in this year. I am not planting too many tomatoes because it can get overwhelming and then they go bad. And that's just silly. So I'm just doing beefsteak on this side, and that is it. 1, 2, Oh, I just told a story. Okay, so hear me out. So I was just going to do beefsteak on this side, and then I had one Mr. Stripey that needed a house, so I put it on the end. Okay, all right. In the center here, we have cucumbers. And I have here Korean cucumber. I sowed Armenian yardlongs right there, but twice, but they have yet to germinate, so I don't know what that's all about. On this side, China Jade, which is one of our favorites, and silver slicers, which are also delicious. The what are these called? Chives are coming back. They were beautiful. And the oregano is wild and refuses to be tamed. I have harvested from this at least 2 big chops. And it's a beautiful, glorious mess. This bed has some kale and some weeds and some kale that's going to seed. It needs to be dealt with. It's got some garlic also, but it's on the list of things to do. I've also got some Kellogg's Breakfast, which is my favorite indeterminate tomato. And then we have this. The borage volunteered in the walkway. But I mean, come on. The name of my channel is Takesha's Age-Free Beauty Zone. I'm going to probably drop the age-free because, I mean, I don't care. It's just whatever I think is beautiful. This is beautiful. Is this not beautiful? I mean, functional? Absolutely not. But beautiful. It is stunning. So I don't know what to do. Obviously, it's going to have to come out. But I'm going to enjoy it for just a little bit longer and probably pick the flowers because they go in my tea and I just love them. So, sue me. It's going to stay for a little bit longer. It's my garden. You can't tell me what to do. Anyway, got some poppies back there. They are also beautiful. And another situation. Okay. All right. Don't talk about me. You can't talk about me. So this happened. They used to be in that pot. That was the strawberry pot. And I did not control it. And strawberries jump. And I know this. And I didn't stop it. And now look. Don't be like me. Control your strawberries. It's like when you see people walking in the store and they don't control their children. This is what happens. They get out of control. Anyway. Last but not least, we have some Mr. Stripey's tomatoes in this last bed. I got those from a local farm, a local nursery. And, oh, I forgot. In each corner, as usual, I've got my lemongrass. There and there. All right, so that is it. That concludes my first garden tour of the 2024 garden season. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what's been going on in the garden. We still have a lot of work to do and a lot of summer gardening ahead of us. So you guys go and have a beautiful, beautiful day or night wherever you are. Bye-bye, everybody.